like to welcome South Carolina. Starting on my far left, we are joined by Mikiah Herbert Harrigan, followed by Asia Wilson and Coach Dawn Staley. Coach, if you would start us out with an opening statement, please.
We're happy to be back in the SEC tournament finals after playing a tough Kentucky team that took it to the wire, and it was great to have Elena Coates back even for a few minutes, but she will be out for the rest of the tournament.
Questions for the student athletes? Here in front.
This is for Asia Wilson, Alex Love, GreerToday.com. I want to talk about some of the defensive plays you made out there. You were in the paint, you were pressure, and you had a lot of good blocks out there. So just tell me what was going on with the game plan.
The game plan is really just stopping the ball from getting in the basket. And I just try my best to be as many places as I can. And Coach kind of says my defense sucks, but I try to show her that it doesn't suck. I'm not out there stealing the ball, but I'm going to try at least get a hand on the ball when the shot goes up. But, that's really just the game plan, and I think we just take it all in. And I think the guards trust us that they can send their defender into other posts and we can handle business.
David Cloninger of the State, AJ and Kiki, if you could each take this. You were up 14, and then all of a sudden the lead was down to 2. Just what wasn't happening, or what was Kentucky doing well during that run?
Asia?
Okay. I just feel like basketball is a game of runs, and I think Kentucky had their run, and I think we was kind of slacking on the defensive end, and also the offense, the shots weren't going in. Our shot selection was a little off, but I think once we got back on track and once we got back into the system of things, I think we started to see South Carolina basketball, and I think that's when we started to take over the game.
Mikiah, you have anything to add?
No, Asia said it all.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. Asia, it looked like in the fourth quarter when Kentucky made that run that you turned the intensity up about 5 levels, really wanted the ball. Tell us what you were thinking at that point.
I was just thinking that we got to win this ball game. We weren't going to leave it until the game was won. So, I just take it all in, whether that's screaming at my teammates, screaming after the and one, or just keeping everybody up, uplifting. I think that's the biggest thing, and that was my main goal, and that was my mindset.
David Caravella, Post and Courier. Asia, can you explain a little bit how defenses focus on you when Elena is in the game and when she's not in the game, and just the differences in what you face in defenses in those two situations?
I think now that with Lay being out, it is kind of difficult because now everyone's either sending 2 and 3. But when Lay's in the game, they might not just send 3, they might just send 2. But that's how I know I can have my partner. But, it feels the same out there. It really does. It's just now I can't really lob it up unless Kiki's in. But, it feels the same. The defense does feel the same. I don't really feel a difference in it.
In the far back.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Kiki, that first half you didn't miss every time. How good were you feeling out there in the first half, being in the flow of everything?
It felt great. I was confident. That's pretty much it. I was just confident out there. It felt great.
Good answer, Kiki.
Brad Cinco, Greenville News. Asia and Kiki, is this the closest it's felt to a home court being away from Columbia?
Yes, most definitely. It was the CLA in there. I remember playing defense one time, and then my ears were ringing. I was like, oh, the Gamecock fans are here. So, it is a great feeling just to see everybody kind of just head up here to Greenville and just support us.
Yeah, Michelle Vopel, ESPN.com. Asia, if the starting lineup's the same tomorrow, especially with Elena out, you'll be the only one of the starters who's played in an SEC final before. I wonder if there's anything special you'll tell the rest of your teammates, the freshmen and also the transfers about that experience.
It's really nothing much they can tell them. I think they have a great understanding of what we do here at South Carolina, and that's win the SEC championship. And I think we're going to all take that in, and I think we're just going to go out there really confident, no matter who we play, and just do us and execute the game plan. So I think there's nothing really much you could say at that point.
David Cloninger of the State, AJ, just another, kind of a classic USC-Kentucky battle. Just how relieving is it to once again win and probably not have to face Michaela Epps anymore?
Definitely going to miss Michaela. I think the rivalry's really nice, and I think it's just going to continue on, whether it's Michaela or no Michaela. So, I am going to miss it, but it's still going to be continued.
Any more questions for the student athletes? All right, ladies, thank you. You're dismissed to return to locker room.
Bye.
All right, questions for the coach, right here.
Dawn, with Elena, how comfortable did you feel putting her back in? And is there any kind of updates? Was it just a retweak, or is it something worse that she did to that ankle?
No, she just re-aggravated. And for a player that really hasn't been injured, I think psychologically every time she feels a little bit of pain, it sets her back 2 steps. So, we're going to just allow her to know that, she's not going to play and get herself ready for the NCAA tournament. She will be back for the NCAA tournament. We're just going to prep the players that are able-bodied to get ready to win another SEC tournament championship.
Here in front.
Coach, I know I talked about this yesterday, asking you being here in Greenville and how it plays, but today just being a little different, having the stands completely full with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 sections, nothing but Gamecock fans. So did the crowd really play a big part in the momentum building, whether it was on the bench or out in the court, that you noticed from the team?
Truly, it created a home court advantage for us. The way our fans came out and showed up in the stands, and we heard them every step of the way, whether we were up, whether we were down, whether Kentucky was making a run, and it really energized us. It just felt familiar to us, and when you have a backing like we have a backing that wills you to a win, it's an incredible feeling. So my hat goes off to Gamecock Nation, and I hope we can bring as many more people in here to fill this place up to help us win another SEC tournament championship.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Dawn, how good was it to see Kiki's play there, especially in the first half? And how have you seen her confidence grown, and maybe even more in these past couple of games where she's gotten more minutes?
I mean, it's always a proud moment when you can see a player who had their ups and downs throughout the season, and then you think they shut it down, but weeks ago Kiki made a decision to give an extra effort, whether that's staying a little bit later with our strength and conditioning coach, whether that's getting shots up with our coaches, whether that's coming in and getting extra film sessions. When those things are taking place, she's taking a vested interest in her career. And it's going to go a long way because she's now having success, and she sees what it feels like when you give a little bit extra. When you give to this game, it becomes a gift that keeps on giving. And truly happy for her. She's got to continue to play at this level in order for us to continue to have the success that we're having.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. Can you talk about getting off to a great start and taking control of the game early tonight?
We were really excited to get out here and play once again. We got behind the crowd that was, really loud and proud. And when it's that type of atmosphere, your team can, find the energy to get up and down the floor. But we got to find a way to sustain that and not allow teams to get back in the game and take things out of our control.
David Cloninger of the State. Dawn, with that, just what was Kentucky doing well? What weren't you guys doing well when they made that run to cut it to 2?
Well, Kentucky just kept beating us to loose balls and hustle plays and getting out in transition and forcing the issue like they normally do. For us, I thought we got a little bit of stagnant, and we were taking a little bit of unexpected shots, and we weren't putting them back on their heels and doing the things that we did in the beginning of the game. But I just thought, when they came back, they got our attention. I think we focused in on rebounding the ball a little bit, coming up with some 50-50 balls, and converted them to easy buckets.
Brad Sink of Greenville News. Dawn, this is where you wanted to be now. So what would winning another SEC title mean to you, and what are the stakes you're playing for tomorrow?
I mean, we're playing for, our history. University of South Carolina's history. This is a place in which if you have the talent to get here again, and you got the team that can win it, why not? I think it's an opportunity for us to continue to solidify, us being one of the best teams in this conference. And we couldn't be that without having the competition. We got great, I think we have the best conference in the country. And when you're able to get that exposure, it allows you to, to do some things that you haven't done in the history of your programs, whether that's here or, Mississippi State or Texas A&M they've won an SEC tournament championship before. So when you play against stiff competition like we have in our league, you can make history, and we want to continue to make history with our program.
We have time for 2 more questions.
David Caravella, Post and Courier. Don, whether it's the situation with Asia where Alicia had to step up and play the 4, or this kind of situation with Kiki stepping up, how much of these injuries have they taught you about how flexible your lineup can be, and maybe led you to maybe put some guys in some positions that you wouldn't have had Coach and Asia been healthy all year?
Again, I mean, we're a resilient group, and I think it's led by our coaching staff. We don't fret who we don't have. We have to continue to move forward with who we have available to us, and it doesn't mean that we don't care and love, the injured ones, but when it's such a quick turnaround, you got to prepare the ones that are ready, and our players really, respond to that, and they get themselves, in the mindset of, hey, maybe I'm going to get in today. Even, from player 1, we're down to 10 players at this point, I believe. 10, 11? 11? We're down to 10. Alexis isn't playing. So we're down to 10. So everybody thinks they're going to play. So it's added focus on their part. And we've had great practices. We've had great shooting rounds. We've had great film sessions. And they all want to win.
Adam Morfinger, Daily Gamecock. Coach, Ty Harris played a lot on Michaela tonight, and Kiki was on Evelyn Akator down low. How much confidence do you have in those 2 freshmen defensively?
I mean, we're real confident, but we don't have a choice at this point. We got to play them, and I think these are good learning experiences because, although Michaela Epps will be leaving us, there's going to be another Michaela Epps in our league. So the fact that Ty and Kiki can get these experiences as freshmen is only going to help our program and going to help them gain some valuable experience.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. See you tomorrow.